5 players Arsenal need to sign from the Bundesliga. So lads, it is here, we are nearly here. Football is about to return. In terms of the first league that is going to return, of course, it is the German Bundesliga, with the first game set to be played behind closed doors this weekend. Now of course, in terms of the Bundesliga, is a league full of a lot of top players, and of course with Arsenal, we need a few top players. I mean, after all, this is the same league that we signed man like Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Socrates Papastotopoulos. It's a hit and miss, let's just say, but despite that, of course, we all know the Bundesliga has a lot of top players that of course Arsenal should be interested in, and therefore today we will talk about 5 players that Arsenal should sign for the Bundesliga. Now of course, with Arsenal needing a lot of players in different positions, this list will include central midfielders, centre backs, strikers, and even attacking midfielders. That's right, Mesut Ozil, your place is under threat. But with that being said, guys, let's get into this video and let's discuss 5 players that Arsenal Football Club should look to sign out of the German Bundesliga. Let's be talking this. I mean, lads, I have been waiting for long enough. We, you, us, we've all been waiting for long enough. Football is finally coming, well, not quite coming home. It's coming back. Bundesliga FC, we are back again FC. Football is back again FC. Hallelujah FC. Let's stop talking and actually let's start talking and get into the video FC. Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Babs14 and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we will discuss 5 players that Arsenal should sign from the German Bundesliga. Now, of course, as you guys may know, the Bundesliga is set to return this weekend with, the likes of Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund, Bayer Leverkusen, Borussia Mönchengladbach, and I can't really name any more Bundesliga teams. But yeah, lads, football is set to return, and yeah, boys, we need this so bad. But with that being said, guys, before we get into the video itself, make sure to go down there and smash a like on the video, show the video some love. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We are on the road to 10,000 subscribers, so smash the subscribe button, turn on the post notifications. Also, make sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments on what Bundesliga team are you going to be supporting. Obviously, with no other football being back, who are you going to be watching, who do you support? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Also, lads, make sure to follow my social media, links will be in the description, much appreciated. And also, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to my group channel, The Offside, as we are making some banging football videos, so please go out there and subscribe to the channel as well. But with that being said, lads, enough talking, enough jabbering, and you know what, let's get into more talking and let's talk 5 players that Arsenal should sign from the German Bundesliga. Let's be talking. Starting off, lads, at number 1, we're going to have man like Thiago Alcantara. Now of course, as I've said, Thiago is a player who currently plays for the Bayern München, and Arsenal and Bayern, we don't have the best of history. I mean, if you're a Bayern fan, you probably love Arsenal because every single time you play us, you absolutely slap us left, right and centre. But as an Arsenal fan, Bayern Munich and me, we don't really like each other. I mean, after all, you are currently the club that has Serge Gnabry, who should be playing on the Arsenal left wing or right wing. Instead, he's playing for you guys. Hand him over, lads. He's our player. Bring him back to us. But of course, today instead, we will be talking about Thiago Alcantara. And of course, the key thing for me about Thiago, of course, is the fact that his contract is due to run out in the 2021 year, which of course means he's only got 1 year left on his current contract. Now that of course is very key, because when it comes to players leaving clubs, having 1 year left of his contract and having not signed a new contract, either Bayern have to give him a new contract or let him go. Now of course, by letting him go, we either get a cut price Thiago or wait till next year and get him on a free transfer. And let's get straight, lads, with me and Thiago, yo boys, I love this guy. For me, lads, he is the most satisfying player I see play football. I mean, just look at his touches. I mean, just look at the way he caresses that ball in, the way he sprays that ball, the eye-arrowing passes. Thiago Alcantara is just so satisfying, lads. And of course, when it comes to the Arsenal current midfield, Xhaka, it's decent, but come on, Thiago's a baller. He's the baller of the ballers. If there was a top baller, Thiago would be top on that list. And just by looking into the strengths of Thiago, his passing is insane, his dribbling is so good. And of course, in terms of that dribbling aspect, it's a very key thing for Arsenal. In terms of our current, ball progression on midfield, it's Dani Ceballos. And of course, Ceballos currently being on loan for Real Madrid, there's no, certainties that he's going to stay at Arsenal. So of course, if we are to lose Ceballos back to Real Madrid, if you look into the rest of the Arsenal field, it is pretty stationary. Xhaka can barely sprint, so forget about dribbling. Guendouzi's decent at dribbling, and Torreira is just, Torreira. He's not good at dribbling. And for me, lads, the last time we had a progressive player in midfield was man like Santi Cazorla. And for me, if we were to go out there and sign a player like Thiago Alcantara, he would probably be our best midfielder since Santi Cazorla. Because if you look into the type of players that he is and Cazorla is, for me, they're pretty similar. Both are players that, of course, first things first, are Spanish. And of course, in terms of the way they play, they're both, deep line playmakers. They play from deep, they spray the ball, and they make things happen. And not to forget, lads, they are both top ballers, of course. And not only would Thiago offer us a player who has that dribbling ability and the ball progressing ability, but also one of Thiago's most underrated things is his tackling ability and his ball intercepting ability. The man can do all of it. I mean, can you just imagine a midfield of Thiago Alcantara and Thomas Partey? Yo lads, it is orgasmic scenes here. Now, okay, Babs, let's not get too carried away here. But for me, lads, of course, having looked into the current contract situation of Thiago and what he could offer Arsenal if he was to come to Arsenal, for me, lads, this is a no-brainer. Raul and Leahy, go out there, knock and buy install, and bring him to the Arsenal. Second, lads, moving on, we're gonna have man like Felipe Coutinho. Where did it all go wrong for a man like Coutinho? Now, of course, in terms of Felipe Coutinho, he's currently on loan from Barcelona to Bayern Munich, and of course, with him being on loan, Bayern Munich have the option to buy Coutinho if they like when his contract expires. But of course, in terms of Coutinho so far at Bayern, he hasn't really set the world alight. So with the price that Bayern Munich have been set by Barcelona, I highly doubt Bayern want to buy it. So of course, if he doesn't stay at Bayern, where is he gonna go? He's been linked with the likes of, Man United, Real Madrid, PSG, and even Leicester. Are you being serious? I mean, saying that they are kind of above us in the Premier League, but Leicester. But yeah, in terms of Coutinho, for me, he's a player who, despite him not really performing to the levels he was at Liverpool, for me, lads, he is still a very, very good player, and a player that I think Arsenal could use. In terms of where I think Coutinho would play for Arsenal, he's a very versatile player. He can play as an attacking midfielder, he can play in a midfield three, and he can also play in that front three as well. And in terms of the player that I think Coutinho could be able to replace at Arsenal, would be for me Mesut Ozil. For me, of course, as much as I love Mesut Ozil and how much I love his absolutely jaw-dropping passing, he's past it. And by signing a player Coutinho, you're getting a player in his prime age, still only 27 years old, and a player who can offer Arsenal a lot more going forwards and a lot more versatility as well, but also a player who is a very good passer, a very good dribbler, and also has the ability to absolutely cannon one into the top corner. Trust me, as an Arsenal fan, we all know it too much. So for me, lads, in terms of Felipe Coutinho, if he becomes available for the right price, which is of course the key thing, I would definitely take him at Arsenal. And of course, if you look at his agent, is man like COYG, and we all know a lot about him. He's of course very good friends with Raul Leahy, so yeah, do you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if this happened. Moving on to the third player, lads, is going to be Bayer Leverkusen Kai Havertz. Oh my god, if Arsenal can pull this off, yo, we are living the dream. Now of course, in terms of Kai Havertz, we all know a bit too much about him. He's a player who I actually heavily chased in my career mode, but of course that is pretty irrelevant to this video. But let's get one thing straight, lads. Kai Havertz has the ability to become a world-class player. Now of course, in terms of Kai Havertz, he is currently an attacking player who currently plays for Bayer Leverkusen, and he's of course 20 years of age. But of course, in terms of Kai Havertz and Arsenal, I think it's the same as last point I made about Coutinho. If Kai Havertz comes to the Arsenal, he's going to replace man like Mesut Ozil. And for me, lads, this will be the perfect replacement of Mesut Ozil. Not only are you getting a player who has that left foot ability, who's an attacking midfielder, who's German, he is showing a glimpse already of what he can be, and maybe he is the next Mesut Ozil. But for me, lads, by signing a player like Havertz, you're getting a player who not only would fix the current Arsenal team, but he also would be a mainstay for the next, 10 years at least. And of course, in terms of the traits of Kai Havertz and his strengths, of course, it's his passing, his dribbling, his key passing ability as well. And also another thing that is very underrated about Kai Havertz is his finishing ability. He's a very decent finisher. And of course, with Arsenal currently having Mesut Ozil, yes, he is the assist king, but boy, does he not know how to shoot. I mean, even when he shoots, he looks like he's passing the ball. So yeah, in terms of Kai Havertz, for me, we're getting a player who right now, yes, he's a very good player, but also has the ability for me to become a more complete player than what Mesut Ozil was. Now, of course, in terms of Kai Havertz, he would not come in there cheap. In fact, according to transfer market's current market value is £72 million, which is basically the same amount we pay for Nicolas Pepe, which we're still paying off. So do Arsenal have the money to pay for Kai Havertz? Probably not. And unless man like Stan Kroenke wants to inject the money, it's probably a transfer that too far. But hey lads, your boy can dream. Moving on, lads, on to the fourth player, and it's gonna be man like Timo Werner. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. If we sign Werner, the pace, the player, yo, we are having absolute scenes, lads. Now, of course, in terms of man like Timo Werner, he's a striker who currently plays for RB Leipzig, and of course, he is a German international. Now, of course, in terms of Werner, the type of player he is, I think for me, he profiles as a perfect replacement for man like Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. If you look into Aubameyang and the essence of player he is, of course he is a fantastic goal scorer. Of course, in terms of Aubameyang's key strengths, of course his finishing is there, but also his speed. He is absolutely electric. And in terms of Timo Werner, if we were to sign him, we would be getting a player who's on that same level of speed, if not somewhat faster. Not only can he play as a striker, lads, but he's also be playing some games as a left midfielder. And of course, with his current manager being Julian Nagelsmann, a man that I absolutely adore and love, but of course he's not quite as good as Mikel Arteta. By Nagelsmann taking over Timo Werner, he's made him a far more tactically clever player and an astute player as well. And that for me is very key, because not only does Werner have the prowess, the goal scoring ability, etc, but he can also play like Aubameyang on that left hand side. And that's why for me, lads, he would become the perfect replacement for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Again, lads, as it is the same with Kai Havertz, this guy would not come on the cheap, and with his current contract due to expire 2023, his current market value being around £60 million, and of course with Liverpool also knocking on his door, him coming to Arsenal is probably very unlikely. But hey, again, your boy can dream. Please, let me dream, because that's the one thing I have in my life left. Let me dream. Moving on to the fifth and final player, lads, and it's going to be man like Dayot Upamecano. Listen, God, forget about Werner. Upamecano is the guy I want. Dayot Upamecano, RB Leipzig centre-back, and where do I start? He's a player who Arsenal have coveted since the last summer. He's a player who I've talked about many a time, and he's a player who is an absolute rock in my career. And for me, lads, in terms of Upamecano, let's get it straight. He would be my dream signing from the Bundesliga. Of course, there are a lot of top players in the Bundesliga right now, but in terms of Arsenal and our current weakness is, of course, our centre-back area. We can score the goals. We've got a decent midfield, and we've got decent fullback. But what we don't have is good enough centre-backs. I mean, David Luiz is decent, Murray is better than Van Dijk, but Socrates, Mustafi, nah. So of course, if we were to get somehow man like Dayot Upamecano, boy, it would be a dream come true. Now, of course, in terms of Upamecano, he's a French player who is a centre-back, and in terms of the type of centre-back he is, he has literally everything. He's got the power, the physicality, the strength, the pace, the passing. He has everything. And add that to the fact that the man's still only 21 years of age. Hey, lads, this is a no-brainer, no banker, because he, for me, lads, will not only currently resolve our defensive issues, but also for the long term, for the future, for the next 10 years, we're talking a player here who could be an Arsenal defensive mainstay. Not only does he have the current ability to play in the Arsenal team, but he has just so much to promise and so much improvements to be made, and how good a player he'd become. For me, lads, if we don't sign up Upamecano now, we're going to regret this in 3 or 4 years time. Rahul Selehi, listen up, my friend. If you are watching this video, again, please subscribe to Bas14. But also, I want man like Upamecano. I want him at the Arsenal. I want him to come. I want my dream of my career to become a reality. So please, if one dream can come true, God, if you're listening, Dayot Upamecano to the Arsenal. Fingers crossed it happens, lads. I'm watching the scenes. When it doesn't happen and I cry and we end up getting Mustafi in the contract. No! With that being said, guys, we are going to end the video there. Of course, if you have enjoyed the video, make sure to go down there and smash a like on the video. Also, subscribe to the channel if you are new on the road to 10,000 subscribers. And as always, let me know your thoughts in the comments on the players I've talked about or players that you like to see Arsenal sign out the Bundesliga. Also, let me know other videos you like to see. In terms of the Arsenal career mode, yes, I've been slacking, but lads, Back Again FC will be in full effect very soon. Make sure to follow my social media and subscribe to the Offsides. Links will be in the description. But with that being said, guys, let's end the video there. Of course, in today's video, we have discussed 5 players that Arsenal should sign in the Bundesliga, 5 players that I love at the Arsenal, and 5 players who most likely won't come to the Arsenal. But hey, lads, your boy can dream. Anyways, guys, I'll see you next time in a bit.